Welcome, Angshuman, to Talking It Up.
Thank you, Animesh.
This is the first episode that we are having on animal welfare. So let's start on the assumption that we see a conflict with humans and the stray animals. The question is, how grave is it? It seems that the stray animals are suffering quite a bit because of humans who have actually encroached their habitat.
Yeah, I agree to this, and the last line is the summary of the situation we are seeing today. I was out of India for about 4 years, and I came back to my locality about 14 months back. And in these 14 months, 3 separate buildings have grown up in that small locality. And even though there are fewer dogs now, because I had got them sterilized and some of them moved away, a couple died, still the fewer dogs are having more problem today than 14 months back with more dogs. So they are now facing an acute problem of existence and space in the cities, especially in the cities. And the thing is, I would not really say that we have encroached in their area, but what has happened is when we came out of the jungle, say 15,000 years back, it was like a partnership. We agreed with those new species called dogs which evolved from wolves that you protect us from the wild animals that come to our areas, and we will give you food which we are growing as an agricultural community. As we progressed, as our societies became more and more advanced, our protection from wildlife and things that dogs could protect us from, that dependence has reduced. And in a city these days, except for say some thieves or something like that, we really don't need this protection of dogs. And after the gated complexes came, that independence from dogs is almost complete.
So you are saying that once they have served their purpose, humans don't need them anymore.
Exactly.
So we have forgotten the good deeds that they have done to us.
Exactly. It's like an unwritten contract that we needed a service from them and we now don't need the service. And this is a place where both of us were supposed to coexist, but because they are not needed, we are thinking of them as pests, like we used to always treat rats and mice and such.
Other rodents.
Yeah.
Yeah, but tell me, we are talking of the modern world, but when we go back, it just occurred to me when I heard one of the common political leaders making a statement recently that we will kill them like dogs. So, how deep rooted is that issue that we have in our society that we have taken killing dogs as if that is the level where we have set our views? So that's the yardstick that we are living today.
Today, yes, I completely agree. This is. Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's exactly the thing. Again, if I go back to what I said a while earlier, last 400 years we have made the maximum amount of progress in terms of independence from natural factors, and this is when most of our modern literature, culture has developed. And in this period, as you said, dogs are part of a phrase which is like an insult to a person. We say, I think we discussed the other day on Baburam Shapure, snakes being seen as only a harmful thing, but maybe 10,000 years back, we used to know that, okay, these things are dangerous, but they also kill our rodents. So that way, the perception of animals has gone down and down in the last few years, and it doesn't help at all when there is so little space that even humans are struggling these days, and then the dogs are not needed. This is creating a great deal of stress for dogs because they are not only less needed, but they are also less appreciated because of these cultural things that you mentioned.
Yeah, so see, both of us have lived in the Western world, but this problem does not seem to be that huge when it comes to the Western world, because they have taken concentrated measures like sterilization and brought down the population of strays over a period of time. Is it happening in our country now?
Yeah, again, that's a very valid point. I mean, they had, all countries had a lot of strays at one time. Even our pet animals are mostly used to be strays somewhere else, the breed dogs that we have. But as you said, they have done sterilization quite actively, and also they have some policies like no stray policy. So if there is a stray, it is brought to a shelter, given a window of time to get adopted, and then it's put down. So our country has historically been very kind to animals, and our current laws are very supporting of them in that sense. As you said, we really cannot kill any of the stray animals. They have a right to live, and they just do not have a right to live only. We cannot relocate them also. Even Supreme Court orders are there saying that you can only sterilize and return them back. But the thing is, that is where the problem has started, because earlier on, even if it was cruel, that's the municipal corporations would take away dogs, kill them or throw them away. Now we cannot do them legally, but the alternative should be, as you said, sterilization. Otherwise, how do you reduce them and reduce the conflicts? But that, like many other things in our country, there is a policy, and then it does not get implemented in ground level as it should be.
Exactly. When you're talking of Supreme Court orders, yes, there are orders. Someone had gone to the court, pleaded to get an order and got it. But has it actually generated that awareness in the society? When you talk of sterilization, even activist groups, I see the conflict within them. Someone like you would actually call for sterilization as a regular process, but I have seen others saying that it's inhuman. We should not interfere in the breeding process of the strays. So we seem to be very confused as a society on how we can coexist with stray animals, and not only dogs, even cats. Cats, I feel, has a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Though it's not that visible, we see dogs on the street. But again, coming back to dogs, I think we are very confused. We feel even the animal lovers, are they really doing good for the animals? That's the question which comes to my mind.
Yeah, that's the most pertinent question, and almost every day while doing our coordination work, or whatever you can call it, in the Kolkata Street Dogs Facebook group, we come across this. And these days even Bangladesh has started sterilization. We are in some such groups also. The same questions are coming up there. Some animal lovers feel, what right do we have to interfere with their right to reproduce? Now the problem is we try to engage in discussions rather than, it's a human point, so we cannot just shut it off saying, no, this is the rule or something like that. The rule is really that, because Supreme Court in our country has clearly given an instruction to every civic body to carry out sterilization, to develop infrastructure and ask for funds where required. This is not yet being done properly, but that is the law. And the problem, what we try to discuss with activists, is the activists sometimes, you have to also understand their background. They have not really worked with people. Because of the general apathy to strays, most of them have actually fought with people, and their general tendency is to be not so well averse with discussing and getting consensus. They go in a conflict mode. So what we try to make them understand is, can you give them a right to life first, and then go into the right to motherhood and all those things. And gradually, I think more and more people are understanding, but yet I am quite frustrated with the situation, frankly, with the kind of support sterilization gets. Because when you have a wounded dog posted in a group and asking for funds, 10,000 rupees comes in one day. But when somebody asks that I am going to sterilize 20 dogs, and it actually means probably saving 400 dogs from that situation, there are almost no contributions. So we have a problem there in the understanding of people.
Okay, so I guess in the interest of time, we will close this episode here, but we want you spending your time and coming here more often to let us know of the better things that we can do for animals. So that's for this episode in Talking It Up. We will have Angshuman back for next few episodes telling us about animal, how we can coexist with them, especially the stray ones. So stay tuned. If you have any specific question, do write back to us. We will be happy to ask Angshuman them and you can get your clarifications. Meanwhile, you can subscribe to our channel in YouTube and Facebook to get regular updates on other issues or other queries that people have. So subscribe to Talking It Up. Till then, signing off, Animesh Goswami. Thank you.
Thank you.